Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. Hello to you, and welcome to the channel. Remember, this is your channel. I mean, it's my channel, but you guys direct what's going on. I follow the chat. The whole purpose of being live is interacting with you all, and you direct it. I just am the host. So, welcome again to your channel, all of my family out there. If playback doesn't begin shortly, try restarting your device. No, 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 no. We ain't restarting nothing. Come on now. Sheesh. I hate this. I really. I know you guys are there. No matter what this stupid computer's doing over here. So, this, I love the Star Wars droids, okay? And I had the Power Droid from the 1977 Kenner Star Wars figures that I collected when I was a little guy. Yeah, I had the original 12. Of course, I bought them for years. I bought them for 4 or 5, maybe 6 years when I was a kid, spending all my money on these little Star Wars characters. And if I had them now, it'd be a whole different story. But I grew up, moved away, left them at the house, and my family moved 2 or 3 times since then, and they are long gone. Who knows? They may have had a garage sale and sold it for 50 cents a piece. Somebody made out all those Star Wars. I mean, I had original 12, the Jawa with the plastic cape, and the Darth Vader with the telescoping two-piece, really wasn't two pieces, but thick and skinny lightsaber, and all the stuff that everyone hated. I had Bespin, Leia. I had them all. But that's then and there and long gone again. And what in the world is wrong with this video? You don't want to have to restart this computer. Please don't make me have to restart this computer. It was working perfectly fine a moment ago. Anyhow, so when Hot Toys announced they were making this, I'd always called it the Power Droid, I think is what they called it on the original 1977 Star Wars Kenner figures. And of course, I had one. I had them all. I bought every one of them. I didn't. I remember when I was. Let's see, what was it? The J.C. Penney's was offering the kit. So back then, you paid for them. It's so funny. We were pre-ordering. You had to pre-order them back then, which was unheard of in the first place. You didn't pre-order a toy back then, And nowadays, we pre-order our figures. Don't think anything of it not coming for 3 years, But anyhow, I remember JCPenney sold the original 12. I was only, gosh, I don't remember, like 11 years old or something, 12 years old. I was 12 years old when the pre-order came out to buy all 12 of them. And all you got, if you bought that, was just like this cardboard back that showed you're going to get all 12 figures. And I didn't have a job when I was then. I got one shortly thereafter and was able to buy all my figures. But I couldn't talk my grandma or my mom or anybody into buying those figures for me. And I don't remember what they were. I think it wasn't much. It may have been only 12 or 15 bucks to buy all 12 of those original figures. And I was like, well, I got a birthday coming up, and whatever else. And I couldn't convince them. But I was buying them my own when I could buy them. And of course, the promise was if you bought those 12, you would get the Boba Fett with the shooting missile. But of course, before the figure was ever even released to the public, they stopped that shooting missile from coming about. So I ended up buying a Boba Fett myself. And of course, he didn't have a shooting missile. So I was always under the impression that if I'd ordered that 12 pack, I would have got the shooting missile. But of course, as you all know, if you're one of those original Kenner collectors, nobody got those shooting missiles. Now, there's people that have made them. Since then, you can buy one. People have fabricated them based off of the photographs on the back of the card, and you can actually buy one. And I assume they're probably pretty good. I've never seen one of them in real life, but there was never one that was ever distributed to the public. There may be a few prototypes out there. There may actually be one or two real ones, but that figure never came to fruition. But I did have an original Boba Fett as well. So anyhow, I had the Power Droid also. And you know, it's funny, I hated that vinyl cape Jawa. I hated the vinyl cape, all the vinyl cape figures. I hated them. I actually hated them. So I couldn't wait until they released them later with the cloth capes, which was my, really didn't like them then. And I may have even just thrown away the vinyl capes, believe it or not. I also hated that stupid two-segmented lightsaber that you could retract on his little arm. Let's see, I think it was this arm. You retracted his little arm, and it came back. And I literally snipped off that little skinnier piece, just cut it clean off, because I was like, this is stupid. A lightsaber doesn't look like this. So I just clipped that off. It's so funny what you do as a kid, and you find out, oh, well, that's what everybody wants. So that's why I bought this Power Droid. I love the droids. I have my little representation of the droid collection here. I bought two of these little TC-14s, and I never knew what color they were. I was always called, or what their name was. I always called them Silver C-3PO. I don't remember owning one of these in the original Kenner series. I don't know what do you guys even call that original Kenner series now, because they call Star Wars Black. I don't even know what Star Wars Black is. Hey, Toy Mafia, save on Mason. Good morning, good morning. The chat is enabled. The video is playing now. See if I can get the video up to live here. There we go. Let's see, what's this? Siri, what body did you use for Nier Automata again? I have that written down, I think. Nier Automata is... I don't have that written down. I think I followed the recommendation on the website. I think I can go to my computer and look. Maybe on the video that I made, I said which body it was, but I don't remember. She's attached foot, okay? It's not a seamless foot. You have to use an attached foot with this boot. So that narrows it down to, you know, a smaller figure, a smaller number of figures than all the others. Let me see if I can look here and figure out which one it is based off of the attached foot. Let's see the notes back here. That's what I got coming up. Let's see. And she's a suntan, by the way. She's not a pale. Oh, here it is. I have it written down. The SO6. The PLLB 2014 SO6B suntan body. That's the one that she is. It's the one I used. And I think that was recommended when you bought it. A lot of times the retailers will say body used in this instance is X, and sometimes they don't. But you had to buy the body. I bought two of those Nier Automatas accessory sets. Don't remember why, but that's why she has two swords, and there's two of the droids with her as well. I really like her. So I don't know why they put this little band on this. I don't remember seeing this before, if at all before. And this is why man, I tell you what, I so wish I had the space and the money to collect the Star Wars figures as well. I try to limit it just to the droids. So I was buying this for the droids. Same way I ended up with Rey, because I was buying the BB-8. Because originally you couldn't get a BB-8 unless you bought Rey. You had to buy Rey, and the BB-8 came with it. And you could buy Rey by herself. So that was the only reason I even have a Rey figure. But these gosh darn droids, I've always loved the droids. I've always loved R2D2, R5D4. It's interesting now because there's so many different names for them than what I remember the names that they had back then. So I never heard this called the EG-6. I never heard it called the Gonk droid. Pretty sure it was just called the Power Droid in the original Kenner release of these figures. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. CBS Sci-Fi, how are you doing? Set 15. I don't remember, but I think so. Let me show her to you. She came with also what I don't have displayed was the eye covering. So you can display her either or. And everything that she comes with, you can't really see everything else. But underneath the boots is a pair of nylon stockings, and you can barely see them right over the top there. And of the two pair of stockings, one pair fits well, and the other pair doesn't necessarily fit the figure as well. I put those stockings on for my Nier Automata over here on my Gwen. I decided to make, Vicen Gwen over here, and she's again kind of like my Mary Jane. She's my interpretation of Gwen Stacy had she lived into her alternate universe. So it's just a blonde-haired Vicen doll. I think this was one of the older. It was actually the only Vicen that was still called Vicen that I owned. So this was the head sculpt that came with that Vicen, and so I put the stockings from the Nier Automata on her because remember I bought two of these, and you can display her without this black covering as well. You can display just this white. What was it called? Is it called leotard or swimsuit or whatever it is? Baby doll, teddy bear? Hell, I don't remember. Either or, and then you can display with the eye wrap around her, so she's blinded out. It comes with a little droid here, and these droids are finicky, and it comes with a little display way of putting the droid in the air also, so you can put your droid up if you want. So that's what she comes with. This and all of this, one sword. Doesn't come with this base. I don't remember her coming with a base at all, to tell you the truth. This is from the Chitauri soldiers. That's what this base is. And she comes with one sword. But I have two swords because I ordered two of them. And I don't think she ever wielded two swords in any of the cartoons or any of the movies or whatever you'd call them. Hentai, manga. I'm not sure what you would actually call it. But yeah, she looks great all over. Love her. Love her, love her. So that's how she comes. And again, like I said, it's the seamless leg. There's not a foot in here that you snap into. You have to slip the foot all the way in, all the way down. And sometimes, the seamless ones don't have any strength in them to stand up on their own. But I don't remember how well she stands on her own. I think the boot would help a lot because it's not the ankle that makes the seamless feet not stand on their own. It's the foot. Inside is a flat piece of metal, but it doesn't go the length of the entire from toe to heel. So like all the toe area is really flexible, and that way you can bend them, you can bend the little toes. So there's nothing there. But because it's only just a little bitty piece of flat compared to the length of the toe, the seamless ankles don't stand very well on their own. It takes a lot of balancing and even putting them in shoes. These are the shoes from the Poison figure, by the way, in my Gwen Stacy. And this is the outfit from the Spider Ghost to Hasbro $10 Gwen Stacy Spider Gwen figure. So that's what this outfit is. And this is the backpack from the Bullet Head Spider Gwen. And this little collar is from the again, the Hasbro Spider Ghost or whatever she's called. There's this seam on the back on these stockings. If you notice, the stockings have this little section there that just doesn't look necessarily right. But I mean, they work. I like it. It's cute. Oh, this is the old. So in the old days, Fison would give you these display stands. So these are rare also. So if you can find an older Fison, you pay a little bit more. Back then they were $90, $100 or something like that for a Fison, compared to, gosh, you can pick one up now for under $60. But they used to come with a display stand. I wish they came with a display stand again. It was really nice. And there's little knobbies on them, so you can put the pose stick wherever you want. But some of the figures, for instance, the secret female agent, I always want to call her a secret agent. The female agent has little holes in her boots, which go onto these little pegs. So she's actually attached to the display stand. So that's pretty nice. I actually bought this for my wife, gosh, back in 2014 or 2015, I don't remember which. My wife loves, well, used to love playing Call of Duty. She was a huge Call of Duty geek. She would love getting out there and enjoyed her little soldiers playing Call of Duty. I never really got into first-person shooters. I wasn't really very good at them. Oh, she was a master. She loved playing them. So this was her little guy, as far as I was concerned. Her little character. I don't think there was a female character that she ever played in Call of Duty. She had to play guy characters all the time. I think. I don't remember, to tell you the truth, but that's what that is. That was a figure I bought for her many years ago. So I kept it boxed up all these years. She never really displayed it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to put it on display. Are the 3PO's Hot Toys in diecast? 3PO's Hot Toys in diecast. There is not a Hot Toy C3PO yet. This is a sideshow C3PO, and this is a, who the hell makes this? This is a $10 one. Hasbro. This is a Hasbro TC14, and so this guy's, like I said, it's $10 or something like that. Not bad. Not really articulated. You have shoulder movement. You have a little bit of waist movement. You have hip movement to some degree. You have bendable knees to some degree, and you have a little ankle forward and back, and you have head movement. The nice thing is it uses AAA batteries. They go right here into the back of the figure. And if you use the lithium-ion AAA batteries and Energizer cells, they'll never explode in the figure, so you can actually leave the batteries in this. And it works the same way as the Sideshow does with pushing the little button, but the Sideshow batteries are in the neck. And then it talks.
Make yourself comfortable. My master will be with you shortly. I'm TC-14 at your service. This way, Ambassador. We are greatly honored by your visit. Make yourself comfortable.
And because, again, it's the lithium-ion batteries, I can leave the batteries in her all the time. So I say her because of the voice, but I'm gender assigning and not giving it the opportunity to tell me what its gender is. But the voice sounds like a girl. So Hot Toys has shown us maybe 2 or 3 years ago, back when Susan worked for Sideshow, they were doing a San Diego Comic-Con, and she just briefly walked by, and she says, we're not going to talk about this C-3PO, and it was the one with the red arm that Hot Toys was showing. And I imagine she was saying that because they never really were serious about coming out with it. I don't know. And I don't know why they won't come out with it, but it was the one with the red arm. And I couldn't tell you whether it was diecast or anything. I don't know anything about this figure, and I've not seen it anywhere. But that was the only Hot Toys C-3PO that's ever been shown, if that would be a right way of even describing that. Let's see. Morning. Oh, happy Saturday. Yep, Robert sure is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just got my Judge Anderson to go with Dread. She seems smaller to me, made by Art Figures. Glad I got them. That KC-14 is weird. TC-14. Did it come that way? How much was it? Yep, came just like this. $10 figure comes with, this must be from. Because see, I remember this silver droid from the original Star Wars. Whenever I say Star Wars, I'm talking about what the younger generation calls A New Hope or Star Wars 4, which is what this is supposedly from, Star Wars 4. I remember seeing the silver C-3PO walking down the ship as Darth Vader's boarding the ship, and that's why I need like it. But evidently it had more of a role. Must have been with Ambassador. Must have had something to do with what's her name, Amidala. But also comes with gosh, I'm going to totally knock this off. I might just pick them up. There they went. Comes with some type of a service set, and I bought 2 of these, so I've got 4 cups, and I'm assuming this is some sort of carafe or something in this tray, and I don't know how the hell they're supposed to hold it. I suppose you would spin these and put it in its hands or something, and it can hold it out or whatever. I thought it was a really neat little service tray. Little chrome cups. You get 2 cups and a decanter or a carafe, whatever you would call it, and then it says what you heard it say. And again, like I said, it was $10 or whatever. It's surprising how many of these little $10 figures work perfectly well in these scenarios. Now, the head isn't necessarily, as nice of a sculpt as the sideshow head, okay? But for the most part, it totally works in a display. So you have a little thicker ridge there, which all of these, even when you go all the way back to this General Foods C-3PO I bought for I think I paid even less than $10 for it because he's really beat up. They use this type of a head design with the extra thickness on it, where this is actually properly scaled in that regard. But there they are side by side. So she really, I keep saying she, it really is a 1/6 scale figure. Now, some of the other droids, the Astromechs, if you buy one of them, they're not really 1/6 scale. They're a little off. So it's a little disappointing. You're not going to get a good deal by buying the little R2 units if you decide to buy a Hot Toys or a Sideshow version, which truly is 1/6 scale, because they're not scale compatible. Would that be the right way of saying that? I guess. When you set them side by side, you'd be like, oh, that doesn't look right. So if you're going to buy the Hasbro Droid series, I wouldn't buy the Hot Toys or Sideshow Droid series, because you're going to be really disappointed, as the scale is not the same. But these guys, the C-3PO units, are 1/6 scale. Probably purely by absolute luck that they ended up being that way. The 12-inch figures. So, and there's the back of them in that regards. So it's not as finely crafted or detailed as the Sideshow and or what the Hot Toys one will be, and not as articulated, because the little elbows bend on the Sideshow one, complete with the little pistons that move up and down. The hands are interchangeable. And there's about the same movement in the hips, a little bit more in the Sideshow C-3PO. But gosh, again, anytime you can pick up a relatively well figure for under $20, come on, how could you go wrong with that? Really, as long as it's scaled with the rest of your collection. I mean, when you can't even buy a Hot Toys for under $200, and that's why I was talking about the Spider Gwen last week. For under $100, you've got a pretty good rendition of Spider Gwen from the comics. I used the bullet heads, so that's what I did with that. I'm away to get my 3-0. Rambo, can't wait. Cool. I'm going to listen driving for food. Driving for food. Right. Oh, one other thing comes with this TC14 is a backdrop, more or less. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out of here. I'll get it out. I'll show you. So it's the box that the figure comes in, all right? And it's totally plastic in there. There's plastic that holds different accessories in it, so where the tray was in, and all the little stuff. So I cut off the plastic bubble and just left it on there. I didn't peel it off because I don't want to destroy the picture. But this works as a little backdrop for them as well. So on the shelf there, I have that behind them. It's kind of like the original Mark IV gantry. If you had bought the original Hot Toys Iron Man Mark IV and gantry, it came with the Stark Expo background. The box was the Stark Expo background, if you wanted to display that. A lot of times there's good uses for these boxes. Could you imagine then if Hot Toys did that with all their little boxes instead of just painting them, you know, a specific color or whatever, if they made like a backdrop for that? That'd be worth taking the box apart at least. We really just store these boxes, don't do anything with them. It'd be nice if the box was a backdrop. Then you'd be destroying your box. But you would have a back display. For whatever reason or whatever. Looks pretty good with my TC14 standing there. So there he is, or they are, in the box. I'm assuming this is just a cover over the hexagon base. Go ahead and look at that first, actually. Unlike, gosh, where is it? I think the one of them came with like this little sliding piece. Was it the, gosh, which one was it? Yeah, just a little plastic cover. And this one says Jawa on it. And so you can put this on, for instance, a C-3PO over there if you wanted to. And that one says EG-6 Power Droid. So this one has no hole cut in it. This one does. I like these. I wish they'd send more of these. These are great for the female figures. And this is probably one of those figures that I think a lot of people are probably going to pass on. It's like buying the rest of the House Party Protocol. A lot of you just have no interest in that. Or kind of like when I first started collecting the Hot Toys figures, I was like, all I'll ever need is one Black Widow. What would I need more of her for? One Captain America, just to represent the Avengers. You know, next thing you know, you're hunting down every Black Widow there ever was. You need a dozen of these. So if I remember correctly, Sideshow made some Jawas. I don't think Hot Toys ever made them. And I don't know how well they are. You know, I've not seen anybody make. Maybe Sideshow did. Were the Tusken Raiders. Lots of layers of cloth here. This is really nice. They did a pretty good job. So you have, for instance, I was looking at his little legs there. You've got the outside cape, okay? And then you have the darker brown inside outfit, which I thought would have been legs for each one and not a dress or skirt, whichever it is. And then underneath there, you got the little wrappings on the little legs all the way up to his little knees there. Interesting, looking at the body here. As I was lifting this up, I thought it was foam because it's a little shiny, sparkly. See if I don't know if you can see that or not. See if we can cast some light on that a little bit. But it's cloth body, a cloth suit over the body there, if you can see that. Of course, the little original Kenner figures had legs with the vinyl. Let's turn this light off. The pouches are permanently attached. They don't look like they're sewn. They look like they're just glued onto the pleather, which is nice. I don't have to worry about them falling off. Got a little hook right here for something that you would hook on. I imagine this guy takes batteries. Yeah, here they are. They go into his eyes, because all we've seen of his face was the eyes. Little wire in the front of the hood, so you can position the hood however you wish. Which is nice. And the wire comes down back the seam of the hood as well. Point it up if you'd want, however you want to display that, which is nice. No wire from the front to the back, just right along that seam there. Really good articulated foot. You can really get some good movement out of that foot. So you should be able to pose them in a type of a kneeling position should you need to work on the little droids. Not much of a ab crunch. What do we got here on the arm? Oh, we've got a little fur on the arm. I wonder then, maybe you guys can tell me, were the Jawas little furry little animals? Were they furry people? Were they like apes or whatever? I don't know anything about them. The elbow does bend, so there's elbow movement. Bicep swivel. Can't tell if it's a butterfly shoulder or not. I think it is. I think it's a butterfly shoulder. So they put a high quality figure, a high quality That's the word I'm looking for. Body under there. We have a scarf tied around the neck. There's the pieces of scarf. Wire posable because of the winds, right? You put those however you wish. Little buckles on the back for the belts. 2 buckles. I mean, they spent a lot of time on this for $200 or whatever it costs. I don't even remember. You'd expect that. But as I was saying earlier, it's probably not one of these figures that a lot of people are going to be interested in. And I bought it because of the power droid. I wouldn't mind having a set of Jawas, and that's the whole reason I steer clear of Star Wars, because as soon as I get into it, I'm going to buy them all. I'm going to pull a full-on Iron Man, full-on Spider-Man thing, and buy every single one. All 200 Stormtroopers or whatever it is that they've made. I'd buy them all. I'd buy them all. You know, sheesh. I keep trying to limit myself. Just the droids, just the droids. Okay, I got the land speeder. Well, now I got to get a Luke and an Obi-Wan, and now I got a Jawa, so I need 5 more of them at least, or whatever. And when does it ever end? When does it ever end? You know, I kind of want to put the batteries in. I hate putting the batteries in because I'm just going to take them right back out. You guys have probably already seen this figure to death. I don't watch any of the videos until I've unboxed them. Then I go back and look at the videos of the, some of the other collectors have made. But I want to have a fresh appearance when I look at it. It actually looks really dusty. It looks like there's just junk in there, but that's actual little dust particles inside that. I ought to put a light behind this. That's what I ought to do. Very neat little rifle. I think if I remember correctly, this was how they controlled the little droids. My little needle is bent to one little side. Don't know if it's supposed to be like that or if it's supposed to be straight down, or if it even is supposed to move. I don't think it's supposed to move, but I also don't think it's supposed to be bent to one side there like it is. Red and green. I think if I remember correctly, that's how they turned them on or off, turned on and off the restraining bolts. And I think this was their little power tool that they used to work on them. I see a little slot there on the back of that. Probably fits on this little hook. I doubt it though, as I look at it. It looks like a little lightsaber, doesn't it? No, that's not going on there. It's not grooved as such. What about this little guy? No, again, not grooved as such. I don't have any idea what's supposed to hang on that. Nothing here really looks like it does. And we have a holster. Must be for the little repair, little what appears like a lightsaber. I think this is what they use to repair the droids, didn't they? All right, we've got interchangeable black wrist pegs. And looking at these wrist pegs, I think they're small. No, that appears to be the same size. We get a trigger finger for the right hand, trigger finger for the left hand. Relaxed hands here. Get a total of 5 hands, and this is a grasping, holding hand, which would be perfect for either one of these devices. Little repair. I'm pretty sure that was. Or this device. We get the extra buttons. One silver, one black one. Actually, there's 3 buttons in there. I guess these are for the pouches. Where's the silver ones go? On the Gonk Droid? He stands up well on his own. And here's our little Gonk Droid. Now, the 1977 Kenner version, I don't think he came out in 77. I think he came out later. Was blue. This is kind of a possibly blue. I mean, he's definitely not blue, like pretty close to the Sideshow blue. I guess he is kind of blue, just not a bright blue. Well, there appears to be very little articulation here. Okay, good. The little what would you call this? Electrical conduit cord can be lengthened, so you can stretch them out to get them into a full bend. Because if I remember correctly, he did like walk, so you can put him into a type of a walking pose should you so desire. Obviously, there's nothing here to grip him. There's no figure stand really that you can put him on. There's no articulation in the toe, so I suppose if you were to do this, you get a pretty good little stand there. You can show him walking if you so desire. I think I bought, and I don't remember, I think I bought one of these to wind it up and actually he would walk, if I remember correctly. It wasn't part of the Star Wars collection. Now, the other thing, too, on the original one, these were colored. It was a sticker that was on there. Like the R2-D2s, it was just a sticker that was wrapped onto it. It was just a sticker. It's really disappointing that there's nothing on here. But these guys, if I remember correctly, were like how you would power other things. It's just a giant walking battery for the most part. But I thought for fact that these would be colored. I imagine I'm going to have to go back to the movies and look and see if they were all just the same color. It just doesn't make any sense for there not to be anything on there colored at all. You know what I mean? Or a light or something. We got little colors on his feet down there. So, and they obviously have the ability to color it for pardon me, for whatever reason, nothing on him is colored. And it's hard to believe that he doesn't come that way. But I suppose that's how he was in the movie. Hot Toys really spend a week or so just researching the figure, the character, before even beginning to sculpt it. So mistakes are few and far in between in regards to the accuracy of a figure because of that research that they do before even beginning to sculpt it. So I'm inclined to believe that that's what it obviously is supposed to look like, but it just is hard to believe that from my viewpoint or from where I stand. if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. So let's get the instructions out, see where the batteries go on our Jawa. But yeah, it would be neat if he'd done something, but I guess he does nothing. The other place I remember him being in was Empire Strikes Back. They got him upside down and they're doing something to his feet. It looks like they're branding him or something. I don't know what they're doing. I'm sure there's one of you guys out there is a huge Star Wars person, and I'm definitely not a huge Star Wars person. I love Star Wars. I guess I've been a great fan of theirs, but I'm no expert. There's some of you guys that are out there that are full-on experts on it, on the franchise and the figures, the characters, and all of that, and I respect that. But you could tell me maybe a little more what he's supposed to be doing when they got him upside down, and then it appears that they've been hitting him with a hot little electric element. So this is everything that this guy comes with. Let's get the instructions here. I put all these in the little folder that I have. I used to keep them in the box. I used to keep some accessories in the box, and off they'd go into storage. And then one day I'd be like, oh, I want to change this hand, or I want to put the other accessory on, and I'd have to try to find the box and then unseal the box and take it all out just to get the accessories out. So that's why I bought the little drawers to put all the accessories in, and I put all these in the folders in case I need to see how to change the batteries or whatever on them. Because I kept the batteries in. For a long time, I kept the batteries in. And when the battery started exploding on me in a box of batteries that I have, I then decided to take the batteries out of all the figures. So when they're the mercury oxide or silver mercury or whatever batteries that they are composed of, that they give you, the little button cells, they'll explode for God knows whatever reason. Just pop. And the last thing you want when doing is corroding or exploding in your figure. So I removed them all and I don't put them in there. They don't last long enough anyhow. So to answer our question on the Gonk Droid's foot movement, there's that. And there's also where the battery goes in the Jawa to answer that question. Okay, and to answer the question on the little, see if they give a name for it, the welder, the little needle does rotate, says it rotates 360 degrees. So I'm going to attempt that. They don't show anything that goes in that little clippy. They don't show anything that goes there. On his belt. Seems interesting that they would do that. And here's the people responsible for these two little guys. Sharmus likes pointing out cock and tit. And Cock and Tit is here, and Monster Jr. Cock and Tit and Monster Jr. Love it. Now, I don't know if that's how you actually say his name. So let's go ahead and put the batteries in his little head. I want to see his eyes light up. Like she's a surgeon, the way she talks. Yeah, I was quite surprised that she speaks. Again, like I said, it's another one of those $10 figures or whatever I picked up off of eBay. One of those you can pretty much guarantee that Sideshow or Hot Toy will never make. All right. Turn the fan on here. little piece of Velcro is holding this hood onto the Jawa's head. Little piece of Velcro they glued right into the top there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go. So you originally will think, oh, well, that's where the battery compartment is, but it's not. Battery compartment's all the way in the back of the head. There to get to the batteries. Yeah, you got to go all the way down and tilt the head forward to get to that. That's a little excessive, I think. More design than what they needed to. You should have put it on the top, personally. My opinion. I hate that they use a power driver to screw the screws in. They don't need to screw them down so tight, because we're supposed to be taking it out. And they use a power driver. Of course, I can respect that. Because could you imagine having to just sit there and screw a screw in all day long? Oh my God. So funny, they no longer include any type of tweezer or anything with these guys. I figure they're probably thinking, you have enough tweezers and screwdrivers, we don't need to send you anymore. I guess they assume if you're buying a Jawa, you've already bought some other figure that we sell that came with a screwdriver and a tweezers. There have been occasions I've used their little screwdriver and tweezer, believe it or not. Well, it's clicking like it's out. Why isn't it coming out then? Yeah, the little screws out, just fell into his robe. There we go. Three little batteries here. See if we can see what cell size they are. Oh, there's a new Terminator figure that's been announced by third-party manufacturer. It says it's an 800. I don't recognize the face. Maybe it's from the television series. Also, I've noticed on the Hot Toys China site, this says, how does this say? LR 620, LR 621. There's a Sith jet pilot that's available to be ordered now. I think that's new. And there's a real cute little Sega game figure, maybe with Fison body on it, and I'm digging the body and the bikini. And when I looked at that, you know, it has an anime head on it. I was thinking, pop that head off and put a Vampirella on it, and we'll have Vampirella in a bikini. Looking for my plastic tweezers. Here we are. This, I think, came with, what did this come with? A figure I bought recently. I don't remember which one. And I love this little plastic tweezer here. This is great. One thing with these little batteries is, man, oh man, oh man, I've always hated putting them into the Hot Toys Iron Man. They just pop out, fly all over the room. You hear ding, 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 ding. You try to find where it landed. And I made a video just to talk about how to put the doggone batteries into these helmets because they're such a hassle. There's so many different ways you can do it. For some reason, they seem to be going in a lot easier nowadays than they did originally. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't know what I was doing back then. I'm not going to screw the back in until, because I'm going to take the batteries right out. Hopefully they'll stay in place. Oh, I should have turned them on first. Little switch is right there at the battery compartment. Underneath the Velcro, which the hood wants to Velcro itself on. Let's turn this switch on. Not very bright at all, actually. So it appears that there's just one bulb that's illuminating this. I swear I've got its head all the way back. It's just not much illumination at all. It's like just one bulb lighting up both eyes instead of two LEDs or whatever. But you can see it, right? Compared to not being lit up. Nice little feature. Too bad, again, they don't use, like this TC14, but it's just not the ability to do that. I wish they made lithium ion button cells. That'd be great. As soon as you guys see a company that's making lithium ion button cells, maybe they can't do it. You let me know. I'll gobble up those button cells and shove them in every one of my figures. They last longer and they don't rot, which is a great thing. Let's see, what have we got here? This is a little King Arts battery installer. You stick it in there and push the little battery out. Pretty neat little thing. I think it was King Arts this came with. Yep. See a little King Arts logo on there. You can't see it, obviously. The cameras are refusing to focus on anything I put up close. But yeah, it's a King Arts tweezer. Got the batteries out. Let's go ahead and put this back in. So the only other figure I have in my possession that's not been unboxed is my Deathstroke, which I bought off of eBay. I should have bought it. It was forever and a day on sites, brand new, and I should have bought it. But what happened was, if you guys remember, figures weren't coming, and I never really had the money set aside, but I knew I was going to need a lot of money when all these figures started dropping, and they're dropping left and right. But so I didn't want to buy any other additional figures. Hell, I can't even put deposits down right now on the new figures that are out. For instance, what else was it that I really wanted to get the Venom, his girlfriend Venom, when she got I think in the comics she had cancer or something, and Eddie Brock had the Venom symbiote merge with her to heal her cancer, because I guess that's the benefit of the Venom symbiote, and she became female Venom. I really wanted to order that, and now they're being delivered. A lot of figures I wish I could order right now. I just can't pre-order anything because I've got so many figures that are coming. It's like right now I've paid for my War Machine Mark 6. The Hawkeye, ordered a Ronin and a Hawkeye, same figure. I just ordered the deluxe for Ronin and then the regular for Hawkeye. I've got my I've got a in-game Black Widow coming. These are all coming within the next week, I imagine. What else? Oh, the in-game Rocket Raccoon is coming. 2 other figures I'm forgetting right now. So I've got weeks worth of figures coming. Deathstroke is the only thing I have not unboxed yet. I bought him off eBay, so let's hope he's in good condition. So of course now, you know, with this figure, can line them up there outside the sandcrawler, right? So I don't think there was a power droid out in front of the sandcrawler. It would be nice if they made all the droids that were outside the sandcrawler. Maybe Sideshow did, and I didn't realize that. Have our little Jawa inspecting them, selling them, dusting them off, wiping the server. So let's try this little welder. See if this little arm moves. It says it does. Gosh. There we go. So I was trying to bend it at the very tip. I just grabbed the knob or where it's attached to the base and just spun it there. It just feels so fragile. But there you go. Spin it right around. Put him in his little hand. And then he can weld the figures. Just wish I knew what that little clip on the belt was for. Also, I thought they had a little pistol. It's got a pistol. Oh no, that's for this, which I think turns on and off the restraining bolt. I thought they had a pistol too. Didn't they? Gosh, for the life of me, I can't get this in here. There we go. There we go. There you have it. Yeah, this is the Hasbro 3PO. So this is the mold they're using. And you see they're pretty much identical in height. A little bit shorter on the shoulders there. The elbow seems to be a good match. A little bit longer legs on the silver one. The legs are just a teeny bit longer. But yeah, if you don't if you don't have the sideshow or whatever, or you want to add, see if we can find a good way to get this light so it's not destroying the camera. There we go. It'll work. It'll work great if you don't mind all the screws in the back. All you're doing is just displaying the front. Yeah, it works. It work. I mean, $200, $10. Come on. Come on, man. I mean, how can you go wrong there? Sure. There's not a lot of detail. You know, this is molded into the knee, where this is actually separate from the knee. Same thing with the elbows and all the little pistons and such. They are just molded right into it instead of separated as they are on a sideshow. But it works. I mean, when you're what would be the term? Army building, you know, this is not a bad investment, if you were to call it an investment, compared to this. And it runs on AAA batteries, 3 of them. And so you can put the lithium ion batteries in there and it will light and they won't dissolve. Whereas on this one, the button cells go inside the neck. You remove the head and they go inside the neck. So yeah, gosh, yeah, you can't go wrong, in my opinion, with a Hasbro 3PO if you're just army building. You know, you might still want one of these because of the detail in it, but I don't think you can go wrong with the Hasbro 3PO. Protocol droid. Not made any progress on my Erxt or whatever it's called shelf. I bought 2 of them. Ersta. This is the other one in the box. What they're designed to do is you install them up underneath shelves and cabinets. For instance, in your kitchen, you would put them on your kitchen cabinets to illuminate your countertop, and that's what they're designed for. But of course, I'm like, flip it over, stick it in the Detolf because of the one shelf that got broken, and see how that works. Or put it to the top of your Detolf, but it's not going to fit in the shape that it is. I'm having to cut it down, and I've not made any more progress on that this last week. What else did I do this last week? Reorganized my Detolf a few times. Put Thanos over there standing up. I have Tank using Thanos's figure stand. I'm thinking once I get Hawkeye and Black Widow from Endgame, I'm going to put them down there with the Soul Ghost. So I've got the Soul Ghost over there. He's using, I think that's Thanos's from Infinity War base stand on him. So that's where they want to put Hawkeye and Black Widow up a Soul Ghost. Let's see what other changes have I made this last week. Oh, so I took a Fison, put the plastic bikini on, came apart. I had this other bikini. I don't remember if this came with the older Fison or not. And so I've made a little Scarlet Witch, put her in a bikini. I guess I kind of now have made a Fison shelf, if you will. I have a lot of figures that are Fison. For instance, I Fisoned the Peggy Carter, and I love her Fisoned. The stockings that came with the original figure just didn't fit her well enough, and she had these detachable feet, and you could just see the ugly the stockings gather where the joint is, and so they just look like granny stockings all bunched at her ankles. So I Fisoned her specifically for that and used a seamless foot, and she looks great there. You can't tell the rest of the body is Fison. because it's totally covered up. She looks great. And then of course, Rey is a Fison for her knees. And then this is my, I guess, my Fison shelf. Everyone on there except for Velma is a Fison figure. Daphne, I think, is the anime one, the S35. The female agent came as its own special figure. The Poison, your Automata, and my Scarlet Witch. Of course, I have a Fison down here, little slave girl submitting to Leonidas. That's not a Fison, that's a Jiao doll. I assume that's how you say that, Jiao, Jiaou doll. And then, of course, that Fison shelf, the three Vampirellas that have been made. Caroline Monroe, the original Vampirella, the Asian version, and the SHCC Vampirella, and then the two Lady Deaths. I ended up getting two of the original Lady Deaths, and then Death's Warrior Lady Death with the throne. I think that's all my Fisons. Oh no. Of course, that Fison shelf. So Black Cat. Gosh, I'm trying to remember whether she was an accessory set that you put a Fison on. Guys, do you remember? I think she was. And then my Mary Jane, which was a Red Sonja. But I've since then swapped out her body and gave her a seamless body for her ankles. But that's the Red Sonja's pants and top and head. She still has the braids in there. The prototype pictures didn't show any braids, but she came with braids. So I've just kind of pushed them in the back instead of debraiding her. And there's my Spider Gwen. And I think on that Spider Gwen back in the corner, I think that's Peggy Carter's body, actually. I think that's all my Fisons. The Spider-Man Death Off. Of course, that's where that Ersta shelf would go. So when the Mark 6 War Machine comes, that Mark 4 over there will more than likely go up here. I've got two more shelves back there, and so I'll shift those over. Need to find out a better place to put my Hulkbuster. From my understanding, you should not put him on top of your Detolf. He's too heavy at that point, and you'll probably collapse the glass in your Detolf. Thanks, CBS Sci-Fi. Thank you very much. And originally this was set up for this tabletop not to be cluttered with junk and stuff like it has been, because I've got my Mark 42 coming down from the wine cellar, you know. That's how this is supposed to be represented. And I never really wanted that Shades in a Hall of Armor. I really enjoy him on that Mark 1 figure base. It really looks good there. Really looks like he's involved in a battle. I've said before, but I haven't said in a very long time, I wish that they would make a movie just having, you know, like 5 minutes or whatever of all of these suits. You know, Tony in each one of them doing something, explaining what their purpose was. That would be great. And this Igor, one of you guys asked me, it may have been El Pachan, I don't remember who it was, asked me whether or not I felt Igor was a suit that Iron Man wore or was supposed to wear, or if he was just literally designed as a robot. Because obviously, Tony's not putting his legs in there. and it walking. You won't be able to bend your leg. If he was in here, his head wouldn't be up in the helmet. There's no way his head would be in that helmet. And as I looked at this figure, I came to the conclusion that the only way Tony would be able to fit in this would be if he was in like a seated position, like an astronaut or a pilot would be sitting into this. And there's plenty of room in the bulk of this body for him to be in a seated position to control this. His arms not going into the arms, his legs not going into the legs, but just seated. Otherwise, by the mere design of it, it wouldn't be designed for Tony at all, because Tony barely fits in the Hulkbuster. You know what I mean? In regards to having him standing there, there's enough room in that Hulkbuster for Tony to fit, obviously, because they through the changes that they made after the prototype release of the figure, before the actual live release of the figure, they ended up making it so that you could put a full-on Mark 42 or 43. Mark 43 actually would have been the proper one, right on in there. And so obviously, and he still articulated at that point. You can move his hips and all that. So Tony fits in there, standing up, and he uses his arms. He doesn't stick his arms in the arm holes, and he doesn't stick his legs into the leg holes. So with this guy being, again, another 1/4 the size taller, he's 125% taller than this Igor. The only way I would assume Tony would fit in that would be with him seated, with him seated. And back there is a Mark IV in his Randy's donut pose. One of these days, I will make a Randy's donut. There's my 4K camera back when I used to film my unboxings in 4K. Just not in the mood to do them. Too much work, man. Way too much work for the reward. Now going over the collection there. 43, 45, and 46 concept. That's all Mark 7s up there. 2 die cast and the plastic stealth and subarctic, or chocolate and white chocolate. And here's 3 4s and 6s and 5s. Ant-Man / Ant-Man Wasp shelf. Daredevil, War Machine, Punisher, Iron Legion, Ultron. Stan Lee there signing a Infinity Gauntlet. Up top are the House Party Protocol, which we called the Iron Legion back then, as they showed up, with Mark 17 being the first one. Mark 35 sits over here, right there. I've got him down here. Took him down to show him to you guys and haven't got him in there. The only way I can get up there is with a stool. So I need to get that. And that's the original Mark 21 over there. So right to left you have the Mark 40 shotgun, the Mark 17 Heartbreaker, the Mark 39 Star Boost, Mark 33 Source Centurion, Mark 15 Sneaky, Mark 30 Blue, what the hell's he called? You slip my memory. And the Mark 21 Midas. But that's one of my favorites, that Mark 21 Chrome. The only way you could get that was to buy it specifically directly from Disney Shanghai. You couldn't order that online. And of course, I didn't go to Disney Shanghai, so I had to buy it from somebody who bought it from that. And that's the Mark 9. Only way to get that was to buy the Pepper Potts figure. And then they made a retro version of the Mark 15 Sneaky, because a lot of people like the red and gold. He's chromed out. He looks good too. Mark 20 Python, 23 Shades, Mark 21 Midas, Mark 22 Hot Rod, which is one of the original die-cast figures that Hot Toys made when they were cranking those out. Mark 24 Tank there. Mark 25 Thumper, right? and Mark 26 Gamma, which is the same figure as the Mark 25 Thumper. Mark 27 Disco, which is pretty cool. It's got War Machine parts in them, or Hot Rod parts in them, and Mark 7. That's the Mark 42. I made a custom open empty helmet in it. And there's the Mark 36 Peacekeeper, I think is what he's called. And the Mark 41 Retro. We've got the Mark 41 right there, all busted up, out, flying about. Black Widow from Civil War, right? And the Mandarin, Tony. Thought about making him a little more accurate to the screen on the pieces of the Mark 42 that he's testing. And there's the Pepper. We really do need a new Pepper. And there's Obadiah. You get that head sculpt with the Ironmonger. And then I put it onto a body, much like I did with this Loki. So it's a Hot Toys head sculpt. I don't remember who made that outfit, but I love it. Came with that cane. It's the only way to get that version of that staff that he carried. Hot Toys never made that staff. There's a concept. Captain America. And the Red Ghost, or what the hell's his name? Red Skull, thanks. The Red Skull and Johann Schmidt, which I am getting Professor Hulk. You better believe it. Thor Ragnarok Welcome looks dumb. Yeah, I kind of agree. I passed on the road worn Thor. I kind of wish I didn't, but I like the Thor Ragnarok. I enjoy putting them in this pose. Let's have to find a place to put them in that regards. Man, I had kit bash this Johann Schmidt to make a Johann Schmidt. It was really hard to do. I had to buy like 3 or 4 World War II figures just to be able to put them together. And the only thing he's missing is on his tie there. It's not supposed to be the little Nazi emblem. It's supposed to be this little Red Skull emblem that you see on the belt buckle. And I just don't know how to make one that small. It's super tiny. So that's what goes there instead of that. But other than that, that's and I had to paint that wounded badge, that gold one. If you were wounded as a soldier, you would get a silver one, and if you died as a soldier, you'd get a gold one. So Johann Schmidt died when he became the Red Skull, and that's why his is gold. So I took a silver one and painted it gold to make it that color. And he's a tank commander. But it was really difficult to piece him together. Took a lot of figures to do that. There's the rest of the Star Wars collection. And we have Crossbones down there, and my Jean-Luc Picard. Love my Jean-Luc. And I need to figure out how to make that body armor for Crossbones. Thanks on that, Johan. It took me quite a while. And trust me, I'm not a Nazi. And I love the actor. I was quite surprised to find out that he didn't reprise his role for Infinity War and Endgame. But he did great in The Matrix and did great in Lord of the Rings. I mean, he's been in huge, huge movies. So he's just a perfect bad guy. The Red Skull is. He's just total perfect bad guy. You know, Save on Mason, I would imagine that you would be wanting him, right? Because you're the bad guy collector, the villain collector. So I think I've shown you everybody, right? Let's do. There's, like I said, where Thanos ended up with the Soul Ghost, which is the Red Skull, whatever happened to him. And here's the Deadpool shelf with a lot of kit bashed Deadpools on there. Really pleased with that Kid Pool, how he turned out. I love my Lady Katana back there. And of course, you have to have a Pikachu Red Deadpool, right? Oh, there's some zombie figures that are being released by Coup Toys, Coup Models. I forget who it is. From the Nightmare series. They're actually like knights from the Middle Ages, but they're like zombied out. And if you're a zombie maker or collector, the arms and the heads would be great for that. And if you wanted to make your Avengers into zombies, you know, or if you're making a zombie Deadpool or whatever, I mean, I think that would be great for kit bashing on that. Put a zombie head and some arms on one of these figures here. God, that would look great if you're one of these zombie guys. Some of you are out there are zombie collectors, and I think that'd be great for that. I don't have the other Doctor Strange, and I still don't have a Drax. I'm missing a Drax. I'd love to get the full Thor collection, get Odin and all that. I'd love to get a Avengers Loki. And there's my 4 Chitauri soldiers back there. Thanos. So I think that's everything. Guardians of the Galaxy with Yondu. I bought 2 of those Yondus. So I displayed one with the taller, the version 2 Mohawk / controller. And that's the Mark 50 with the accessory pack on them. I wish I'd bought more than one Mark 50. But then again, shoot at $400 a pop. It's just still difficult to do. Juggernaut. I love this Juggernaut, man. If you're an X-Men collector or a Deadpool collector, I can't imagine for 1 second why you would pass on this Juggernaut. He is great. Great. Just a great figure. It really is. So, I guess that's everything. The full little semi-room tour, except for the other room. I'm not going to get into that today. See if there's any chat that I've passed here. What's a screwdriver? What did I miss? It took me several months to find all the pieces for Johan. I spent months on him trying to find the perfect, because his rank, for instance, you had to buy one figure just to get the rank that he had. The 3 stars, I think, was on his collar. And what would you call it? His or 2 stars, okay? His designation to what his, let's get him out of here. So the Leafs designate what type of a soldier he was, and the 2 stars designated his rank or whatever. And that he wore that hat, so it really wasn't the Red Skull hat. It was literally that hat, which already had a skull on it. Let's see if we can get this to focus in on him. Just not getting it to focus this close. Come on, why won't you focus in? I guess I'm just too close. But to get these ranks was one figure, and then to get this coat was another figure, and then to get the pants and the boots was another figure. And these are the boots with the little metal like nails or whatever to make the sounds as they would walk about. And then the medals, or whatever you would call those insignias, the tank commander and the wound badge, the Iron Cross. But it just took some time to find them all. And the head sculpt came with the Red Skull. But yeah, he was work. He was work. And fun. I mean, fun doing it, but now I have all these extra Nazi figures that have nothing to do with. The only thing I've never found was the overcoat that he wore. I never found a perfect overcoat. If you remember when he went into that monastery or whatever it was, where he found the Infinity Stone, or God, what's the name of that cube? And he crushed it because it was glass or whatever. Then he found the real one. So that's where all that came about. I've got a scratchy throat or something going on today. box full of figure stands. Look at that electrical fire about to happen right down there, right? Tools. Plaster of Paris, I think, is what those are. Little 1/6 Camaro. And some type of a Formula or a Grand Prix car. I will want to one of these days convert to a Tony Stark Monaco car. And then, of course, all the little drawers for the guys. Fight figures still in their boxes. Jawa doll figure. I've got them separated by a medium bust and large bust. And there's the Deathstroke, which will probably do next week if I don't get any of the others that are on their way. And the land speeder. I've not got the new Ant-Man. I haven't even been told that he's on the way yet, I don't think. He should be. He should be on the way. Mark 47 should be on the way. I got him ordered. Got all the Ant-Man, so I've got what's this one over here? I think this is the Avengers Ant-Man or Civil War Ant-Man. I don't remember. Yeah, that's a Civil War Ant-Man, and then of course that's the Ant-Man from Ant-Man, and then I've got the Infinity War or in-game Ant-Man, I guess. Which I've got this. I think this was. I don't remember, but I think that's an SH Figure Arts, and it looks really good. It really much looks like the Hot Toys, true to scale, as well as that Wasp. Looks really good. These do not, and I forget who made these with Anthony, but these aren't necessarily a really good match, but these are. These look great. And same thing here. You can see there's the one that just doesn't quite match the others. The suit's not bad, but the face helmet is all wrong. And so we've got a Hot Toys and a King Arts, and then I don't know, Hasbro, I don't remember. That's a King Arts 1/9 yellow jacket. Hot Toys showed us that, but never released it. And so I've got them shrinking on down. And I did the same thing with the Civil War Ant-Man. And I'm shrinking over here. There's no 1/9, but we got the 1/12 and little guy down there on that. Thor Ragnarok weapon is a screwdriver. I gotcha. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Absolutely. Pick off with some zombies. I've not done anything with it since the video. I take that back. I've cleaned it up. I've done a lot more modifications. Everything fits on there, but I've got it all in this bag. I have not been pleased with any idea that I've come up with for filler. This body needs to be expanded a bit and filled in with something. I need the body to be open about yay much. And I need to be able to fill this in and have it be open as such in order for, you know, the pieces to fit on it properly. So I need this to be open just a bit for it to be a proper placement. But it's cut to how it needs to be cut, maybe a little bit more than it needed to be cut in order for everything to go on there, including the little back, the spine piece, and the little pieces on the legs. The little feet go right up in here. So which one is this? That's this foot. They fit right up in there well. I trimmed these pieces out and pushed them in just a tad to make them fit a little bit better, so they're not so totally flared out. And these just fit right up in there perfectly. And there's this little spine piece. There it is. That's not. Huh. Someplace I've misplaced this little spine piece. It goes down his back. I wonder what is it. But no, I mean, I've thought about wood filler. I've thought about Bondo. But I'm not pleased with any of those. I don't think, in regards to putting that in there and having that spread open as such. But I'm certainly open for suggestions on what you guys feel would work. What did I do with that back piece? So projects are crossbones, the pod, the shelf, Randy's donut. I think he's going to stand over here with these R2 units and the R5 unit on that shelf. I think that's where I'm going to put little Jawa. There's not much room there. I need to buy some more Detoffs. Sheesh. Really? I've got two that have been released, of course. I've got the Black Panther from Civil War, and this was the third-party head sculpt, which I love. I didn't understand why Hot Toys didn't make the head sculpt from Captain America Civil War. I just don't have any idea. People will say it was licensing issues or whatever, and I have a hard time accepting that as the answer, because from my understanding, whenever they sign into their contract with Hot Toys, with Disney or Marvel or whoever it is that's controlling them, they agree to creation of their likeness. So they obviously made the figure, they made the Black Panther, and Chadwick Boseman portrayed the Black Panther, and he removed his helmet, if you remember, specifically in the scene where they were all fighting in the street. And I think it was Captain America that said, "Your Highness," to him when he took his helmet off. Maybe it was some other character that said that, but I don't remember. But yeah, he removed his helmet. You could see him. So why did not Hot Toys provide that? I have no idea. So I bought the third-party one, and it looks great. So I have his helmet in his hand, and that's how I've displayed him. So this is the original, and I love this figure because it just looks amazing. And T'Chaka is the same figure, just painted gold, and then has the outfit on the outside of it. And then the Black Panther figure, without the light on it, it just looks kind of bland, just like, there he is, just a black suit. There is some texture in it, there is some detail, but not like this. Not the texture and detail that this guy has on him. Gosh, keep knocking that Jawa over. This guy just looks good. Love this guy. thought Black Panther was a great movie. Wakanda Forever, right? I don't know why they're not making his soldiers. Forgive me, I don't remember her name. And his friends. I don't know why they're not making those. I'd love to have them. I'd add them to my collection. Forget her name. His guard, more or less. We got Shuri and we got T'Chaka. We got Killmonger, which I pre-ordered, and Sideshow gave me like 2 days to pay for it, and then they canceled my order, bastards. So I ended up losing my $25 or whatever deposit I put down on them. My little R5 antenna is about to break clean off. I keep knocking it. Of course, the motivator goes up and down. Pull his little eye to get it to pop. Toy Putty. Which Civil War or Black Panther? Sad it was like that with Leia and Adam West, Batman. Yeah, we're losing our guys, right? It is sad. Oh, that's a good idea. The young King T'Chaka. CGI it like they did with Princess Leia and Grand Moff Tarkin, right? Okay, Okoye, thank you. Yeah, where is she? You know, there's so many characters that they just don't release, and it's such a crying shame. Because I'd buy her in a heartbeat. The big waffle on the bottom lip. One of the counselors or representatives. I forget what his position was there. Jeez. Why not? Angela Bassett played his mom. Where's she at, right? The Queen. Ned Flanders. From Simpsons? Ned Leeds. Ned Leeds. Yeah, I've seen that. Hot Toys is? I've seen the third party that made him. I have the first one, which they call the fat guy or whatever, and he doesn't come with a head sculpt. He just comes with the Spider-Man head sculpt. It's on the fat body, same body they use for Fat Thor. But yeah, now they've made a Ned Leeds in his school uniform, and I don't think the head sculpt is necessarily right. He doesn't look perfect, but it's the right outfit. So yeah, there's a new Ned Leeds that's out, and of course Michelle is out. Zadoya, is that her name? That figure's up for pre-order. Again, these are all figures that I would love to get. It's just I'm paying for figures that are coming. I can't put any figures on pre-order. Everything's been put on hold. I'm gonna have to track them down later. It's gonna be harder. Pay more money for them later. Love that Venom. That bullet head Venom. Jeez. If you pass on that, you really missed out. I mean, for real. You totally missed out. And that Electro paid $50 from him. That's how cheap he became. I mean, I bought him brand new from Big Bad Toy Store for $50. So sad to see such a great figure go for so little, because the value on it then is just virtually nothing. I glued that phone into Miles's hand there in order for him to hold it. I love my bullet head Spider Gwen. Bought 2 of those so I could just pose her without the helmet on too, or the mask. Sergeant Slaughter. Oh man, out of the Happy figure. You know, I just totally passed on that Happy figure. It just was, I didn't think it looked right at all. It wasn't right at all. So I just totally passed on it. I'm probably regretting that, but I would just hope that Hot Toys would make one sooner or later. Hell, he was in so many movies. John, I don't want to say his last name, Favreau. He directed and produced and starred in, or well, did star, but acted in so many of the MCU movies. I mean, I really enjoyed his interacting with Peter Parker in Spider-Man: Far From Home. I enjoyed that when he gets Peter into the jet and he asked Peter what he needed. He said he needed a suit, and the jet started making that. The room came out more or less, or the equipment came out, so Peter could make his suit. And Happy was looking at him with a reflection of memory, seeing in him the Tony Stark that everyone wants him to be, the Iron Man, and watching him create the suit. And he goes, he says something like, "You build the suit, I got the music," and he puts AC/DC on, because we've heard Tony play AC/DC on more than one occasion in the movies. And it's so funny because Peter Parker turns and goes, "Oh, I love Led Zeppelin." No idea. Young guys, no idea who the music is he's listening to. I thought that was a really nice scene. But yeah, I love a Happy. I mean, there's so many years of him because he represented all the way back to what was it, 2000 or something like that. So Happy has been in 25 years versus of Marvel movies, from the Burn, where he met Adrian Kildrich, told him to meet him on the roof so he could discuss the organization that he created. I forget the name of it now. I should know this name of this organization. I can't remember it. So we have Happy from there, and then we have all the way up to 2025 Happy. So because that's where they are in game. So did you see that new T800 that third party makes for Arnold? I don't recognize him. I don't know where he's supposed to be. I guess maybe in the movie, a television series. I ate green berets for breakfast. Wasn't that with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover? What was the name of that movie? I ate green berets for breakfast. No, I heard that Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger got along well. Maybe they hate each other now, but I heard they got along well. I heard that Arnold helped. See, from my understanding, in order for Sylvester Stallone to get his body, he used a lot of steroids in doing that building. And from my understanding, Arnold did not. He did it the natural way back in the day. And so when Arnold got in touch with Sylvester to help him refine his body, that's what he did that in, what was the name of that movie? Cobra? I don't remember, where he shows up at that spilt tanker that was spilling oil or gasoline or something all over the road. And he shows up and the cops are like, he thinks he's Rambo. They're talking to Sylvester Stallone. He thinks he's Rambo. And he's like, I think he says, "Fuck Rambo," or something like that. And he takes his gun and shoots the tanker. And you expect it to blow up, and then starts pouring out of it cocaine or something like that. And but no, that was his thing about "fuck Rambo," because he was betraying the Rambo character because of his steroid use in order to build his body in that manner. But Arnold got with him and taught him to exercise properly and to get his muscles developed without the steroids. Now, that relationship may not be that anymore, but it was at that time, and that's why he said "fuck Rambo," or whatever it was he said in that movie. I think that movie was Cobra. But that was how all that came about. You're all right. I'm with you, man. I am with you. So we've been here almost 2 hours. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. Again, this is your show. It really is. You direct it. I follow what you want. I grab whatever figure off the shelf, talk about whatever subject you want to talk about. Especially when it has to deal with what it is that we so love, our 1/6 scale collecting and the movies and the pop culture that we're into and what's going on. with things. And I love every one of you. Thank you very much, Patreon supporters. You know who you are. Not a single one of you have asked me to divulge your name, so I won't. I'll keep you anonymous. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the things that my supporters have done for me. Being here, watching the show, sharing the channel, giving it a thumbs up. That helps out so much. A thumbs up helps drive traffic to the channel. Thank you for the gifts. I've still got the letters over here that I've received from you guys. Thank you for that. Love my Jean-Luc Picard. Thank you for that. You monthly subscribers for Patreon. Again, thank you, even though I've got nothing to give you for being a subscriber except my eternal gratitude. And like I said, just consider it like tipping your waitress. You go there, you get a good meal, you leave the waitress a tip, you leave the bartender a tip, you give your valet a tip. You know, if you enjoy what I'm doing for you, if you like spending time with me, throw me $1. It really helps out so much. It motivates me. And I answer just about every single email that I get, and I try to answer all the YouTubes. So I'm there for you guys. And I consider you family and friends, and thank you very much. So Patreon.Siri Emerald is my patreon.com/SIRIEMERALD. That's my Patreon account. Like, subscribe, share, click on the little bell notification. Sometimes even after doing that, YouTube still doesn't share that I've got a video coming out. And I'll see you all on the next video. Thank you very much. Love every one of you. Peace out.